Casting live each week on Tuesday at 12 p.m. from Fishbowl Studios. Log on to hear sports talk from basketball to football and view your feedback on the biggest sports news you want to talk about from around the world. So be sure to log on each week Tuesdays at 12 p.m. to catch the Jamie and Genty Show. Hope to see you soon
on Fishbowl Radio Network.
Jump in.
Welcome to the Beyond the Gate podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie. And it's Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. Man, the last day in April. Tomorrow will be May, May the 1st. I don't want to even hear about May the 4th and May. It's going to be May, all that nonsense. This is ridiculous. But anyways, so we are here. And before we get into the basketball stuff, because there was a lot going on last night and throughout the weekend, I want to talk about the WNBA real quick. So, as of last week, I told y'all that they could approve the new stadium, the new location, the new relocation for the Dallas Wings. So they're moving it to the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Center, that's downtown Dallas. So you're going from UTA college campuses to a stadium that sits only 10,000 people. I said this last week. I said I've been different about it because you got to remember. Oh yeah, Eric Johnson, the mayor in Dallas, won the second team in Dallas, and so he got it. He got his wish. They fulfilled his wish. So a guy that was Democratic to Republican got his wish of having a second team in Dallas. It is not the team that he's looking for, but he got a team in Dallas. So he's happy about that. And so they're moving there in 2026. So they got to do their renovations and do all that nonsense. And they'll probably raise the prices in 2026. Make it hard for like other people that are low income. I'm not one of those people. To make it difficult on them to attend the game. I always said that you got to put your games in the mid-cities. So if it's in Arlington or Fort Worth, yes, it works out because everybody that travels from afar can get to the games a lot faster than instead of like you're traveling from the other side of Fort Worth and I want to go to a WNBA games that's all the way downtown Dallas. Now, is it worth the trip? Is it worth it? If I pay $20 to go watch a WNBA game in the summer, but I live in deep Fort Worth or Weatherford for that matter, and I gotta go to downtown Dallas, is it worth the drive? I'm gonna let y'all decide on that. For me, it's not. The team's gotta be, and also we have to win. We have to win a championship. If the championship's not on your mind in 2 years, then why are we moving? Or better yet, in 2026, you have 15 years to get that goal. So your 15-year lease at that stadium, we got to see a championship in between those years. No ifs or buts about it. Now, let's dive into the playoffs from last night. Now, the OKC Thunder, the Oklahoma City Thunder, swept the Pelicans 197-89. Okay, he completely swept. And congratulations to Mark Dago. He just won Coach of the Year, well deserved. It was a close race because they had him, they had Jamal Mosley of the Orlando Magic, and they had Chris Finch, which I'll talk about Chris Finch in a second. So my vote, if I was voted, I would have gone for Jamal Mosley. It would be really close because he took an undersized, undetermined Magic team to the playoffs. And they won, I think they won 48 games. So you talk about a 20-plus game improvement but Mark Dagos was 17. He had made a 17-game improvement. But I would have gone either way. I would have gone with Jamal Mosley or Mark Dago, but the critics got it right. Now, this series has Zion all over it because Zion did not play. I think Zion should have played. Just tough it out because you gotta remember Joel Embiid's playing on one leg. Chris Middleton is playing on two bum ankles, and your injury is a hamstring. And I'm like, this is the playoffs. You don't get this opportunity every single year. You played 70 games. You averaged 23 points a game with 6 rebounds and 6 assists. You shot 57%. Why is it that you weren't out there? I understand injuries happen. I get it. But you got Joel Embiid out there on one leg, leading his team to victory, even though they're down 3-1. He's still out there giving his all. We should praise him for that. I don't praise guys that just sit out unless you have a serious injury. With Zion, his injury was not that serious. When he walked off that court, I thought it was going to be a sore hamstring. Okay, rested it for a day or two, and then get back on the court. This is the playoffs. Like I said, you don't get this opportunity every single year. You got to make every moment last. So it's hard. It's hard for the Pelicans to go through that because they weren't going to get out of the first round. I did remember saying that I was going to choose the Pelicans, but after game one, I was wrong. I was finally wrong about this series because the Thunder showed their maturity. You know, after game one, I'm pretty sure someone in the locker room told them you need to stop barking like dogs and start being serious about the playoffs. Because again, everybody's trying to fight for one goal. And one goal is to win a championship. And so, what better way to knock out a team that has so much hope on it and to move on? Now, I don't know if Shea's going to win the MVP or not. He should. He's considered. But I don't know. I don't know. But it's not his year yet. Give him another year or two. If the Thunder go on and win 57, 58 games again, then you definitely have to give it to him. Now, I have a question about Brandon Ingram's willingness to play basketball. I have over the last week or two, I've been watching Brandon Ingram's body language, and I'm saying, I'm like, Brandon Ingram does not care about basketball anymore. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at a guy that hasn't hit 30 yet. I'm looking at a guy that has all the potential in the world. I look at a guy that many people compared him to Kevin Durant. And I say to myself, does Brandon Ingram care about basketball? He looks unmotivated. Like there's guys that want your spot, Brandon. There's guys that are willing to go out there and work harder than you. But it didn't show in this series because you didn't care in this series. You could blame injuries, but I don't think you were that hurt. I just think you didn't care to play. And Willie Green was running out of options on who to replace Brandon Ingram with. So to me, if I'm the New Orleans Pelicans, I gotta look at Brandon Ingram. I don't look at Zion. Zion's all right. Zion didn't want to play, which to me he should have played. Everybody's hurt. Everybody has doubts. But Zion should have played. Brandon Ingram, that does not care about basketball at all. This is why you were left off Team USA, because you don't care. You need guys that care about the game, that are willing to go out there and fight for their brothers instead of just picking up a check, which Brandon Ingram is doing. So if I'm the Pelicans, I look at Brandon Ingram. I sit him down and say, do you care about basketball at all? If not, we release you and we will replace you with somebody else. I hope that's not the case, but at some point, something has to be done. Because you can't you can't give everything to CJ McCollum. You just can't. Now, I like the core that New Orleans has. Trey Murphy, Najee Marshall, Jose Alvarado. I like that core. Can that core that I just mentioned win another 40-plus games again? With a healthy Zion. Zion plays 70 to 75 games, even if you play 82, Zion, because you're healthy enough to play 82. It's just that you're not willing to take care of your body when it counts. I challenge Zion to play 82 games at any point of his life. Because if he doesn't, then this generation sucks. You guys don't want to play basketball at all. You got Markel Bridges of the world playing every game. You got Chet Holmgren, as tall as he is and as fragile as he is, playing every game. I challenge Zion to play 82 games next season and beyond. Now, for the Thunder, you're moving on. We don't know who you're playing. It could be the Mavericks. It could be the Clippers. In this case, I don't know. Let's talk about that when I get there. But first, the Lakers. Every single season, we always have the conversation about LeBron's health. LeBron this, LeBron that. LeBron's going to be healthy here. LeBron's going to be healthy there. Every year, we always have those conversations of LeBron in retirement mode. It angers me a lot because I want the best for LeBron. I also want the best for Lakers. Who's going to be that replacement? That's why LeBron's not ready to retire, because LeBron cares about the game so much. It's not necessarily about his sons coming to the NBA. It's about him caring about the game. He loves the game too much to let his brothers down. So, what do you do for a guy that's done everything in the world? A guy that has said, I need help. I got it from Anthony Davis. He played 74 games. I didn't get it from anybody else. D'Lo showed up in spurts. Austin Reeves showed up in spurts. Torrance Prince showed up in spurts. Rui didn't even show up at all. Jackson Hayes, I don't know. Jackson Hayes, again, do you care about basketball? I honestly think he will get himself out of the league at some point. And I'm talking about Jackson Hayes at some point. Then I don't know. You have Christian Wood, who's a bench warmer. Like, shouldn't he be wearing an NBA jersey? For that matter. I know I'm being harsh, but he missed all the games. He's missed all the games. He's been sitting on the bench. He's been wearing, street clothes for the last 2 months. Like, do you not care about getting into the gym, playing? Even Darvin Ham for 4 games could have come up with a play to run for the Lakers. What is Darvin Ham's value to the team? He has no value. That's why everybody wants him fired. Because, again, you got outcoached by Mike Malone. Out of all people, again, he whooped your ass. He said, after every timeout, a play was drawn for either Jokic or Murray to come off screens, and you didn't have the audacity to defend it. You didn't have the audacity to put LeBron on Murray. LeBron could have said, I want to guard Jamal Murray. He should take that challenge instead of guarding Aaron Gordon or whoever, or Michael Porter Jr. You're not going to guard those dudes. Leave it up to the other guys. You can blame, oh, yeah, Jared Vanderbilt wasn't available. Or you can say Austin Reeves didn't guard. It don't matter. You're out of the postseason. Now you're ready. Now you're prepared for the offseason, which everybody's going to be talking about this for the next a month and a half. Instead of caring about the OKC Thunder and the Minnesota Timberwolves, those teams have advanced. Celtics are about to advance tomorrow. You want to talk about LeBron? His legacy has been solidified. Now, I don't know what's going to happen. I know for a fact that LeBron's going to prepare for Team USA because that's in 2 months. So you talk about the Olympics in July. We got to fight. We got to fight to get our to win a gold in USA basketball. Now, when Grant Hill pulled out the roster, and I said, okay, first of all, Joel Embiid's not playing. Anthony Davis may play, and that's it. So if Joel Embiid says, I don't want to play because I'm hurt, well, he shouldn't play. Who do you go to? I always advocate for Draymond, even though he's crazy. But at the same time, if you need someone that can bang down low against these foreign teams, because these foreign teams have bigger people. They have bigger people. Like you're going against Jokic and somebody else of the world. We're going to get killed down low. I'm serious. We're going to get killed. We don't have the post players to compete with Jokic and others when it comes to the Worlds. But I want Grant Hill to not think about the past behavior of Draymond Green. I want Grant Hill to say, you know what? I believe in this roster, and I want to add Draymond Green onto it. But that's BS if you don't. But anyways, if I'm Darvin Ham, if I'm Jeannie Bush or Ron Pelinka for that matter, I look at Darvin Ham. I look at a coach that can run plays. I look for a coach that can command a locker room. I look for a coach that can command a huddle instead of players doing that. I look for that. And Darvin Ham's not that guy. I'm sorry. I always advocate for African Americans to get head coaching jobs. Darvin Ham is not that one. I'm sorry. He's not that one. What do you do when, the expectation is so high on him. It's like it's not even fair. But then again, you're getting killed by Mike Malone on timeouts. You couldn't defend a pick and roll against Murray and Jokic. I was screaming at the laptop last night. I said, Murray and Jokic have to defend, you have to go through them. LeBron has to defend Jokic. I said not Jokic, but Murray. He's got to take it up a notch. His career is going to probably end with regret. Not a whole lot of regret, but with regret that I didn't guard the best players ever. You could have guarded Murray. Murray was playing on one leg last night. You could have, but you didn't. You allowed Reeves and others to defend him. They couldn't. That's why everybody chooses the Lakers to win. Why do y'all have to come to the realization that the Lakers suck? He just flat out suck. Outside of Anthony Davis and LeBron, who else did they have? You always talk about third star. You always talk about Dame Lillard. You always talk about Giannis. Heck, Anthony Edwards. That won't happen. The super team stuff is over. That won't happen. Let's go to LeBron, please.
And your last game with the Lakers. not gonna answer that. Appreciate it.
Huh? Okay, so, okay.
And your last game with the Lakers. I'm not gonna answer that. Appreciate it.
So, I want to go to Jamal Murray, please. Since you don't want to answer the question, I understand, but let's go to Jamal Murray, please.
We're going to overtime. Jokic a screen. Murray to try to break the tie.
No timeout by the Lakers. They got to go.
James above the feed. A Prince shot. No. Zero's on the clock. The Nuggets advance. Reminiscent of game 2. But this one is going to send the Lakers home and to Cancun. Just a simple high screen and roll. But the difficulty of this shot, you're driving left and shooting back right, Jamal.
And you're shooting right, but you're not getting a regular shot pocket. He's changed his feet pattern to mess up the defender's rhythm. His big shot taker, big shot maker. Jamal Murray is just cold-blooded.
A guy that was questionable coming into the night with that calf injury, right? It was a game.
So, anyways, that's going to live on for the Lakers forever. 1, 2, 3, Cancun. The Lakers are going to Cancun. And so, that's what it comes down to. Everyone to go to. The Pelicans are going there too. So yeah, that and so and so that's what happened last night, guys. Now, I would have said, this is why you got to have timeouts. When you challenge so much, you lose those timeouts. So, my rule is, okay, this is the rule of the NBA. When it comes to a challenge, you only get one challenge a game. It's not like the NFL, you get 2 challenges. Baseball has unlimited challenges. So, the NBA has 1 challenges. They always say, hey, I didn't foul this person. Oh, hey, the ball didn't go out of bounds. They always go like this, challenge, challenge, challenge. And then the coaches, they have somebody on the bench. It was a tablet and say, hey, we can look at this play. They're looking at the play. They get like 20 seconds to look at the play, and they can challenge it. And so the person that's on the bench, behind the bench, that's looking at the tablet, gives the thumbs up, say, go ahead and challenge it. Okay? They say, go ahead and challenge it. Darvingham, I think he challenged too many times because he won his first challenge and then he got the second challenge. So when you win your first challenge, you get another challenge. But when you challenge again, then you lose a timeout. Even though if you win the second challenge, you don't get another challenge. So he won both challenges last night, but unfortunately you lost a timeout on the second challenge. So they only had 1 timeout, and later in the game, like 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, they were gassed. So they called another timeout. They had no timeouts with 3 minutes left. That's why you saw that the last play, as you saw, that's why they play hurry up. Because coaches call timeouts to set up a play and to move it down the line, move it to half court to get the last shot up. They didn't do that. They had to get it out of the basket and shoot a wild shot. And so that's why I wouldn't challenge every play, because if I'm doing that, then I'm defeating the purpose. I don't want to challenge every play. Just let it go. It didn't happen, okay? Just let it go. And the officials have to be better, though. They have to be better. But let's play a clip from the challenge rules, please. I want everybody to understand this for the last time of how an NBA challenge works. Let's play that clip, please.
You get a challenge. If it's successful, you get another challenge. But you have to have a timeout to use that. They had one timeout left. They used it on that challenge on the Anthony Davis play right there, but it doesn't mean that you continue to get challenges or timeouts. You need to have a timeout to use the challenge, and that was their last one.
That number one, that doesn't make sense. I don't understand how you win the challenge and lose the timeout. Well, I mean, I understand the rules, but that just doesn't seem fair to me, in my opinion.
Then they do that for purposes of game flow, and that, you know, once you've used those challenges, it's not like, okay, now you get to use another challenge or anything.
Well, not
like
all challenges, but I agree with Charles. I'm thinking you should be able to keep your timeout.
Well, you have to use a timeout to challenge.
Yeah, but you made the mistake, not us.
That's right.
But we didn't make the mistake. You made the mistake.
So you have issues with the rule, and that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, and that didn't cost them the game. But I'm saying I don't understand that. That just doesn't seem fair.
You make a mistake, but
you made a mistake, and I got screwed by your mistake. That ain't right.
It's called the letter of the law, Jim.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So the challenge rules, yeah, I kind of agree, but I kind of don't, because they have to change it. The NBA has to change it to where if you're allowed 2 challenges a game, keep the timeouts. Yes. So keep the timeout. So if you win a challenge, then you get another challenge. So you'll have two challenges left if you win that first one. The NFL always has 2 challenges. If you lose one, if you use a challenge, you lose a timeout. But in the NFL, they say, you know, if you challenge it, then if you win the challenge, then you keep your timeout. But in this case, you win your challenges. The Lakers won both challenges last night, but they lost one timeout. So, to me, I think the NBA has to revisit that. To me, I would have, if I was the commissioner, I would do 2 challenges, but you have to have a timeout. I'll do 2 challenges apiece. Okay, you lose that challenge. You lose the first one, but if you win the second one, you get another challenge. So you'll have 3 challenges, but if you take the first challenge, that gets wiped away. You win, you lose, but if you win the first challenge, you lose the first challenge, you still have 1 challenge left. But we'll take that timeout away. Now, take a challenge, you lose that one, we take another timeout away. So I would have done it that way, keep the game going, but the challenges shouldn't take more than 10 minutes. We're in the NCAA tournament again. In the women's tournament, they challenge every play. From flagrant foul, someone getting hit in the face, to someone going out of bounds. The ball, I didn't touch it. Under 2 minutes left. Every play, challenge. The game was longer, went by 10 to 15 minutes that way. In the women's NCAA tournament, I watched because they go like this every single possession. They knew they touched it, but you wanted to challenge it again for what? And that gives a coach an extra timeout. You're giving 4 timeouts a game. You're giving an extra timeout. So on average, you're taking 7 timeouts on average, if you include those challenges that they go after every 2 minutes, not under 2 minutes, 2 minutes and a half. Sorry, I meant to say So that's the rule of the NBA. I don't know. They had to revisit that. Now, the Mavericks game. Okay, I hope Angelo in the other room is listening and watching, because he's in trouble. I didn't like the fact that y'all did not finish in Game 4. You didn't finish. The Clippers were up by 31 points on Game 4. Kawhi didn't play. Paul George did. James Harden did. Both of them went for 33 points. Now, I'm going to continue to challenge Paul George. I'm not challenging James Harden. I think James Harden is an absolute fool of himself. I'm going to challenge Paul George to do that again in Game 5 and Game 6. So you got 2 challenges, Paul George. I want you to do that in Game 5 and Game 6. Where's that shooting at home? The Mavericks couldn't defend it. You're putting Derrick Jones Jr. on everybody, on Harden, on Paul George. I don't want listen, if you're going to defend Paul George, you got to make him put the ball on the ground because he's not good at doing that. You got to make him work for his shots. All the shots that he took in the first half, he didn't have to break a sweat for it. But now in the second half, they defended him well. But when it comes down to the first half, you got to defend him. You're in trouble if Paul George goes for 30 points a game in Game 5 and Game 6. But like I'm choosing the Mavericks again to win Game 5 and Game 6 because the series is over. The Clippers gave up a 31-point lead to the point where the Mavs were up by 1. Was 4? I think it was like a minute. It was like under 2 minutes left. So, but they didn't finish. They did not finish. Kyrie went for 40. Luka went for 29. But Luka has to stay away from the officials. He picked up a technical foul. You're warned once. If you do it again, you're out. So you have to understand that Luka, you are important to the Mavericks. If you pick up a tech, it's not going to. Then you have cost us the game. Jason Kidd or somebody on the court needs to pull you away from the officials because it's always like every possession you're getting fouled. It's the playoffs. Get through it. Move on. Now, in Game 5, you got to be the desperate team. That's tomorrow night. You got to be the desperate team. Game 5, Luka and Kyrie got to be golden. Somebody else has to come through for the Mavericks. Somebody else outside of Tim Hardaway Jr. because he's not playing. I don't know who it is. Could be Gafford. It could be Josh Green, like I said in the series. Dante Exum. Could be Jaden Hardy. Could be anybody on the Mavericks to be that third guy. But they have that. They can beat the Clippers. No, I'm still choosing the Mavericks in 6. So I think they'll win Game 5 and Game 6. So we'll see what happens. But Kawhi is not playing. I don't think Kawhi is playing for the rest of this series. I think he's out long term. Now, let me say this before I get to the Minnesota Phoenix game. Stephen A., I love you, my brother. I love you a lot. However, you took it upon yourself to waste all that time and energy to call the league office on Russell Westbrook's fouls. Yeah, Friday night he fouled a lot of people. He got ejected. You took the time to call the league office to do that. That's playoffs, Stephen A. Did you not watch the Knicks in the 90s? They were roughing up Jordan. Go watch it. They were roughing up Jordan in the 90s to the point where Jordan dunked over Ewing. Jordan got so upset, he got getting pounded in that series. And so you call the league office on that? When your Knicks was punching Jordan in the face, you didn't call the league office on that? Well, you want to call the league office on somebody on Russell Westbrook. Somebody that is gold for the game. Somebody that plays every game at his age. Someone that plays every game. He's one of the few that care about the game. These young players, they're dying before our eyes. And we still got Russ of the Worlds caring about the game on every possession, accepting his role on the bench. And so to me, Stephen A., you have to stop this. Stop being a Karen. Let it go. It's playoff basketball. Yeah, that's what a Karen is. Stop being a Karen. He was a Karen that this weekend. when you did that. Stop doing that. It just bothers me that you're going to call the league office on that. Like, come on, man. There was nothing there. He got tangled up with Doncic and Washington. He got ejected. He paid the price. It was the right call. So, stop that, Stephen A. You're better than that. Minnesota and Phoenix. Okay, another team. Now, Minnesota plays Denver. I don't know because everybody's guessing. You know, Murray's hurt. Murray has that calf injury. And then also you got Chris French, who tore his knee up. The coach tore his knee up on Sunday night, when Mike Conley ran into him. It was accidental. People can say, you know what, did it on purpose. No, because Devin Booker pushed Mike Conley into Coach Finch. Couldn't get out of the way fast enough. So it was Coach Finch. He's going to have surgery as of today. That's the report I heard this morning, according to ESPN. And then I don't know how he's going to coach the series. Is he going to be in a wheelchair, or is he going to travel with the team? I don't even know. I know for a fact that the assistant coach, Michael Nori, will coach from the sidelines. He's done it before. He coached against Cleveland when Chris Finch was sick. So he's done it before. He knows the team. And so to me, I don't know. I don't know how you can travel or how you can be on the sidelines in a wheelchair. I saw Ron Hunter in the NCAA tournament in a wheelchair. The coach for Tulane, I saw him on a wheelchair. Not on a wheelchair, one of those scooter things that you put your knee on. He had a foot injury. You put your knee on and you're rolling around. One of those things. He was on sidelines coaching. I can't remember what year it was, but he was coaching on the sidelines. I never seen it. Outside of that. I never seen it before. I never seen a coach get hurt while not playing. That's crazy. And so, but I wish him well, though. I wish a speedy recovery. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not picking Minnesota and Denver because you got to give me a few days to figure this out. Maybe on TikTok on Saturday morning, maybe I'll pick a winner because that series starts on Saturday. So, but as Phoenix goes, Phoenix, you're not off the hook. I get to you. Okay, first of all, how are you going to assemble a super team with Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant? Your team is not that good. Your team won 49 games in the regular season. You lost Grayson Allen. Bradley Beal didn't come to play. And then you're relying on Kevin Durant Booker. Like I said before the season started, you got to buy in. Unfortunately, this team did not buy into Frank Vogel's coaching. They didn't buy into what he was talking about. You know, that's why he may get the scapegoat. And I didn't like what Devin Booker said, taking a direct shot at James Jones. A direct shot. Like, Devin, your job is to play, not to make decisions in the front office. If the front office wants to make decisions of releasing players, bringing in new players, let them make those decisions. You don't call out your own team when you score 49 points. You did everything you can. You didn't have the help outside of Kevin Durant. And then everyone wants to talk about Bradley Beal being the best. Bradley Beal was a missing piece to the Phoenix Suns' success. He wasn't. Bradley Beal has been hurt all this time. It takes you more games and more games to get healthy, Bradley. That's not right. You can't do that. Like, come on, man. What are we doing? But shout out to Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant did his thing. Booker did his thing. Bradley Beal did not. And I challenged Bradley Beal to get healthy this offseason. You have 6 months till the season starts again, to get healthy, to work on your health. Not anyone else, your health. I don't know how the team's going to look this year. I know for a fact that Kevin Durant and Devin Booker are going to Team USA this summer to play. I have very high hopes that they'll come home with a gold medal. You had Devin Booker and Kevin Durant, that's a lot of scoring. And then LeBron and AD, a lot of scoring and a little less defense. So, to me, I'm very optimistic about Team USA. But I'm optimistic about the Phoenix Suns, too. They're not going to fire Frank Vogel, even though he may get fired again. But then again, who do you turn to? Because you got Kevin Young, who's going to BYU. That's crazy. You go from you've been sitting on the NBA bench for a long time, then you get a job at BYU. I mean, more power to him, but I think he should have. In the future, he'll have an NBA job again, maybe head coaching. So that's it for my NBA stuff. That's it, not my NBA stuff, but that's for my that's for the West side. Now let's transition to the East side. Now Boston, Miami. This series is over. Okay, whether Porzingis plays or not, this series is over. This has Boston written all over it. Game 5, Boston was winning Game 5. You won't have KP. KP is not it's not hindering the championship chances of the Boston Celtics. He's not. It's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If those two do not come through in the next round, I'm talking about the next round because they'll finish off the Heat in Game 5. Then I will question what we're doing with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I will also say, do we need to move on from either one of those players? I know Jason Tatum's a lifer. Well, both players are lifers, but you got the talent. Derek White went for 38 last night. You got Drew Holiday defending people. You got Al Horford knowing his role off the bench. You got everything you need. There's no way you shouldn't be able to finish the Heat off tomorrow night. And so, to me, it's over. Because you need that rest in between tomorrow night, Thursday, and then whatever the next series starts. Could start Sunday, Monday, whenever. You need that rest to get back on track. Now, there was a play last night that I saw from Bam Adebayo. Okay. Patty Mills gets a foul on Drew Holiday. Okay. Jason Tatum grounds the ball, shoots it, dead play, right? It was a completely dead play. Lands on Bam Adebayo's foot. Jason Tatum has an ankle injury, okay? But he was able to stay in the game. They called Bam Adebayo. Now, Al Horford gets a technical foul for pushing Bam Adebayo. And so, but Bam Adebayo gets a finger foul penalty. One, for a play that completely ended. Didn't have to happen. But the officials go to the monitor and say, you know what? We're going to give Bam Adebayo a finger foul number 1. That's bull crap. You don't get, first of all, the play's over. Call the foul and move on. Come on now. Like, I want the NBA today to rescind the finger foul penalty 1 from Bam Adebayo because that was not a finger foul. That was just a play. Play that Jason Tatum should have not made. Should never shoot the ball and land on someone else's foot. The play was completely dead. That's all Jason Tatum. I'm sorry that he got hurt, but that's all him. That's all him. But Miami has no chance. But Boston did beat them. Beat them 102-88. It was a lot worse on Saturday though. Now, this series could end tonight. The Cavaliers, not this series. It's not going to end tonight. I don't know who's going to win Game 5. I'm shocked the Magic beat the Cavaliers by 20-plus points twice in Orlando this weekend. Now, what do we think about the Orlando Magic? Do we think that they are the best team in this league? Do we think that they have a shot against the Cavaliers? Do they have a shot moving on? Or they didn't even have a shot tonight? Because tonight will be huge. The Orlando Magic have to figure out a way to win a game on the road. Because I don't know what type of Cleveland team they're going to come out. You know, I haven't been impressed with the Cavaliers. I haven't been impressed with Donovan Mitchell's game. I haven't been impressed with Tristan Thompson being on the bench. That cheater bastard that cheated on his wife. You know, I haven't been impressed with their defense. You're giving this team a chance. Game 3 was Pablo. Game 4 was Franz Wagner. Who's going to be in Game 5 when you don't play defense? Is it going to be the whole entire team? Is it going to be Pablo? Or is it going to be Franz again? Orlando Magic have pieces, but those pieces are interchangeable. It could be Pablo one game, Franz one game, Monts one game, Jalen Suggs another game. They have a complete team that works for them. So when you have that team, everybody knows each other. Everybody knows their strengths on their team. So in this case, the Orlando Magic's strengths is they like to run a lot. They like the fast breaks. They love their half court. They love their half court stuff. So you got to be able to defend all 24 seconds. You got to, because they're not running any pick and roll plays for Pablo. They're not running anything for Franz. Franz is just getting to the basket and getting whatever he wants. Was a layup here or a jump shot here and there. They're going to get what they want tonight. It's up to Cleveland to defend that. But they have to show up. Now, Game 5, another Game 5 tonight. This could end the 76ers season. And what will we say about if their season ends tonight? What can we say about this team? The 76ers. Can they not get it done? Can we say that, can they say that we're going to win another game? Again, Joel Embiid is playing on one leg, and Joel Embiid is put up 27 points and 10 rebounds in Game 4. Now, to me, there was more Knicks fans in that stadium than Philly fans on Sunday. That's embarrassing. Just imagine if the Eagles came here. Just imagine if the Giants came here. Or better yet, if the Rams came here. Do you know that we have many non-Cowboys fans that support the other team? It'll be 70 versus 30 fans of the other team, the Giants fans. And you will hear roars from the crowd. Now, what do you do about it? Now, I appreciate Embiid being nice to his fan base, but at the end of the day, you got to call them out. You got to hold the fans accountable for their actions. You have to make sure that your fan base is cheering for you, not for the other team. Don't let these New Yorkers get in your place and cheer for and take over I can't remember their stadium name, but the 76ers Arena. I never seen that before. Well, I have, but in the NBA space, I've never seen that before. There's always NBA arenas that cheer for the other team. Always. You got to make sure that you're cheering for your own team. The 76ers have done the work. They just can't finish. That's the problem. And Embiid is doing everything he can with one leg, but you can't ask for him to do anything else. If Embiid's putting up 25-plus points a game in this series, you can't ask him to do anything else. Somebody else has to come through. I told you that Embiid shouldn't play for Team USA. But I also want to make this prediction tonight. I do think the Knicks will win. I do think Jalen Brunson will get 30-plus points tonight. But it'll be really close. I do think that it'll be under 10 points tonight. But the New York Knicks will win. They'll find a way to close it out, and they'll win. Because I don't see the Sixers coming back anytime soon. Anytime tonight. I don't see it. I don't see them forcing a Game 6 for that matter. I just don't see it. But Embiid will score 30 points tonight. The Bucks and Pacers. This one is another closeout game for the Pacers. The only thing I ask of the Pacers is they got to have a total team effort. That's number one. Number two, they got to stop playing around on offense. Now in Game 4, they went on a bunch of droughts where they weren't scoring. They were just turning the ball over. Again, they're a young core. They're going to make stupid mistakes of throwing the ball away. But they're a young core. They're trying to figure it out. They're trying to find who's that number one person is. Is it them? Is it Tyrese? Or is it Miles Turner? Or whoever? In this case, Game 4 belongs to Miles Turner. He's from here. He went to school here. So, can we have another performance like that again on the road? We'll see. Another thing is they got to play defense. They got to play defense again on the road. So that means defending, you can't give up more than 110 points. You can't give a damaged Milwaukee team a chance to win the game. You talk about having Giannis out, Dame out, and now you may not have Chris Middleton. But Chris Middleton will play. He just has two bun ankles. So to me, their depth is very limited tonight. And yes, Giannis or Dame make a spectacular recovery and play tonight, which I don't think they're playing tonight. I don't think both of them are playing tonight. But when your ass is on the line, you're going to play. So I'm not expecting Giannis or Dame out there tonight, but I do expect Chris Middleton to be there, and I do think the Indiana will close out the series tonight. If they do what I asked them to do. Now, Milwaukee, they got to have everybody. Everybody from Chris Middleton to the end of the bench. They got to have whoever's there step up. Danilo Gallinari has some moments in Game 4. He's got to step up. All these younger players like Andre Jackson or Bo Kemp for that matter, you got to step up tonight. Then you got to keep your composure. I'm talking to you, Bobby Portis. You can't grab a man's head and try to attempt to take it off. You can't do that. You got to be smarter than that. We need you. Their depth was tested because you weren't there. But I did say, how much does Middleton have? How much does Middleton have to work with? Two bun ankles. I can't imagine playing on two bum ankles. I can't imagine that. But I already answered y'all's question. I don't think Giannis or Dame play. It is not their fault. Unfortunately, an injury happened. Milwaukee fans, listen. The Achilles is not to play with. Dame is doing it because of to protect his health. He knows that when he steps on the court, if he rips that Achilles, he's out for a year. Giannis too. Giannis steps one step. It could be a non-contact injury. It could be anything. Those two will be out for a year, and they wasted 1 year of their life playing NBA basketball. and they're trying to save themselves for future seasons because they don't want to have their career ended. And so, but Indiana wins tonight. I think it's going to be a little bit close, but you got to put the ball in the hands of your point guard. Have him make plays and see what happens. Now, that's it for my NBA stuff. So tonight, I know the Cavaliers and Magic series are going to extend. Whoever wins that wins Game 6. I honestly think the Cavaliers will come back and win Game 5, but they will also figure out a way to win Game 6. The series in New York is over tonight. Against the 76ers is over. And then Pacers beat the Bucks tonight is over in that series. Because you want to end this series to rest. Now, this person, very, very dear to my heart. I've been watching her since 2007. Yes. Yeah. I've been watching this person since 2007 from Tennessee. Okay? I was at work on Sunday afternoon. And I saw our very own Sports Talk with C. She was on the show last year, actually. Put out a story of Candace Parker. And she had this sad emoji on it. And I'm like, okay, what's this all about? Did she pass or what's happening? So I go on ESPN. And I look at it, and I say, Candace Parker is retiring. Candace Parker is retiring after 18 seasons or 16? I think it's 16 seasons in the league. In the WNBA, 16 seasons. I'm very shocked. Because the WNBA needs her. We don't have any faces in the WNBA right now. We have, well, you can say the Nneka Abumike is one. Another one is Diana Taurasi. I'm not even going to put BG on it because, you know, there's a lot of people that are indifferent on that. But we do have future leaders who can elevate their game to be the future leader in the WNBA that can take that throne. We have LeBron, we have Steph, we have Giannis, we have KD. Those guys retire. Damn, we're screwed. The WNBA is screwed because Candace Parker is no longer playing. She cites injuries for that, and I understand. But what a career she had. And let's play a clip of guys giving her praise, please.
Well, she has retired. Candace Parker calling it a career after 16 seasons in the W. And it wasn't just the W. From the University of Tennessee.
Give it up there, girl.
Just a classy, class act.
And we get to work with her, too.
Yes, we do. And it's always a joy and a pleasure to do that. Two-time NCAA champion and most outstanding player. Player of the year in college hoop. Two-time Wooden Award. You can see it all. Rookie of the year in the Dove. And that's not all. 3 titles. MVP. And 2020 Defensive Player of the Year.
That's amazing.
And as you point out, Chuck, we get to work with her. And you get to work with her on Tuesday nights. Yeah. And we know her in so many ways as a player and as an analyst here and as a mom and as just, she's just one of a kind. She's awesome.
You know, when you're on that short list of women to win multiple NCAA championship, multiple gold medals, multiple WNBA titles, that's going to be a very short list. That tells people what a great player you are on all levels. But she's just a nice lady. We're so lucky. Obviously, Shaq get her most of the time working on the Tuesday night show. She substituted with us quite a few times. I get to work with her doing March Madness. Yep. She's just an amazing lady. Candace, girl, we're so proud of you. And you know what? And the good thing about it, none of us ever get to walk away on our own terms. You did. So we're proud of you for that. Congratulations on an amazing career, and we love you, girl.
Obviously one of the greatest women players ever. It's a joy to work with her. Upset that she didn't tell me, Candace, I talked to you on the phone the other day, you should have told me, but so proud of your accomplishments on and off the court. It's a joy to have watched you play. Thank you for what you have brought to the game, and it happens to the best of us. At some point we have to retire, but you will always be remembered as one of the top 2, top 3 women's player ever.
Yeah, Candace, you know how we all feel about you, but just in terms of like groundbreaking, Ernie, like someone who is taking not just their basketball career, but having their own signature shoe. But also, we live in the same area in Los Angeles, so I get to see her. Our kids at one time were at the same school. And the ability to play a game, come to TNT, and then be there to pick up her daughter is what makes her special. It's the ability to be a mom in all of that and make her children feel more special than she is. And to me, I saw that every day, and that's what's astonishing.
Flowers for you, Candace. We love you, and so happy for you. Exactly. I'll see you on the Peloton bike, too. Because she's always on those rides.
Alex Toussaint.
Yes, indeed.
So, my tribute to Candace Parker. You are a wonderful human being. You changed the game in many, many aspects. Many, many aspects of the world. I enjoy watching you play. Me personally, from the time you got drafted by the Sparks, you led the team when Lisa Leslie gave you the throne. You led them to another championship. You also won another championship with the Sky. And then you did it, and you won another one with the Aces, even though you got hurt last season. And I thought she'll play this year to have a retirement tour. I'm always a big advocate of these players having a retirement tour to make sure that they're honored at every city they play in. And so she never got that. I understand why she didn't get that. She has accomplished so much. And I just wish that she worked at ESPN, because I think the ratings for ESPN would have gone through the roof. You talk about a former player working on ESPN, one of the biggest networks in America. I mean, I can understand TNT. I get it. Like you did your thing in college basketball this season, March Madness. You did your thing amongst everybody else that did not want to work March Madness. You did your thing on that men's side. You proved us wrong on many occasions. And I honestly say, like I said, it will go through the roof if you work for ESPN, but you have so many opportunities. If TNT decided to have a WNBA game on their network at some point, at any point in time, I want you to be the first person called on that. You just know the game through many aspects, and the league needs to celebrate you. The league does not celebrate its players enough. They didn't celebrate Cynthia Cooper. They didn't celebrate Lisa Leslie. And damn sure they're not going to celebrate Candace Parker, because the league wants to celebrate Caitlin Clark and others. Caitlin Clark just started. Candace Parker's out the door. Start celebrating these players when they leave. Don't let these individual teams celebrate them. Individual teams have to celebrate them. Why does Candace Parker not get? Why doesn't these individual players get celebrated by the whole entire WNBA? They didn't. Sylvia Fowles, when she retired, got celebrated by the Minnesota Lynx. They gave her a throne and everything. When Maya Moore retired just a year and a half ago, she retired because she was fighting for criminal justice. And so, but they never retired her jersey or anything like that. But they're going to do it this year, finally. And so, you got to celebrate your players. That's all I ask. And that's why Lisa Leslie's coaching the men's game, and that's why Candace Parker's on TNT, doing a men's network. It happens. So, one more thing, and then we'll go to break. So let's play a clip. This should motivate everybody. Candace Parker bleed orange. And I hope that one of these days, if Tennessee fails, because they just hired a coach, if they fail, I want Candace Parker's name to be called. So let's play the clip of Candace Parker at Tennessee, please.
I hope that the teams that I was on, I made others better. I think that's why I was so proud of assists. Like as a big, to be in the same mention as guards with assists, because bigs, you usually throw them the ball and their job is to score. But sometimes when you're getting doubled, it's about making others better. Mm-hmm. And so I hope my kids pass the stats, pass all that. I hope the teams that I was on, that I made 1 through 12 or 1 through 15 better.
So that's a little clip from Candace Parker. So hopefully at some point the WNBA does celebrate her. I know there's a game coming up this Friday at Dallas. Please don't go to it. It's preseason. Don't go to it, Chance, because it's preseason and no one cares about the preseason. But people in Dallas and people in Indiana care about the preseason. Please don't go to that because it's preseason. They play 2 games. Is it worth going to 2 games preseason? No, because you know why? Because you're going to watch players that are trying to make the team. Caitlin Clark is going to play only like 15 minutes on average. Why does she need to play a whole entire 40? This woman just came off playing the NCAA tournament. And so now you're asking her to play 40 minutes. No. Let the other players get their shine, trying to make their team, because that's what the roster is. They're trying to make their own team. They're trying to make their team, and it solidifies their roster spot. That's what the game is. That's what every preseason was, the NFL, MLB, or NBA. You're not going to see the stars. You're going to see players trying to make the team. So don't go to it. Go to the regular season one. So, all right, coming up next, let's talk about the NFL draft. Your boy Angelo celebrated because his Washington team had the best draft. I got to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about other stuff as well. Let's see. We want to talk about the winners, who had the best, and then we're not even going to talk about the Cowboys. We'll leave that till next week. So let's come back. Let's talk about it next. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.
Dismantle up, I know how to handle up. Light the candle up, make you put a banner up. Toss a 50 up, make them tie the club up. Took your bitch out the game, I had to sub up. Swap. No masterpiece. 10 bad bitches and they after me. One bad bitch look like a masterpiece. Looking for a dunk like an athlete. Big drip, what you call it? Big drip. Ice chain, pure water. Ice. You got the cab, but can't afford it. You got the bad, but can't afford it.
Pick the name, easy, make her open up and eat it. Stars in the ceiling in my seats, they Tempur-Pedic. I see them niggas watching and they plotting, trying to sneak me. I can't hear the thought, can't trust the thought, they telling secrets. Big bang, look back, the nigga. Catch him down bad, that nigga cry a whole river. Now for my back, I'm taking care of the whole village. Somebody got shot, what you talking about, Willis? In the lobby with a brick of wicked Bobby with your bitch. I go Lawrence with the fit, in the Rari with no tent. I'm from the trench, I got the dirty money rent. He was popping, so I popped and pray to God repent.
No masterpiece. 10 bad bitches and they after me. One bad bitch look like a masterpiece. Looking for a dunk like an athlete. Big drip, what you call it? Ice chain, pure water. Ice. You got the cab, but can't afford them. You got the bad, but can't afford them.
Take off. No
money to the money. Nah, I picked the gang up, took a flight across the country. I took the waitress, told her keep the ones coming. Thought they get some backwoods and left the right running. Looking like they blind, but we already on it. In the left with Celine, like that bag that she wanted. A lot of teams ass busting at them jeans, make you wanna spend a 50. Same with a donut. Whole team full of queens, gotta keep their eyes on me. Snake in the sky, probably wanna slide on me. Bet they ride on them when I put that prize on them. 10 bad bitches, Brocato got 5 of them. No masterpiece. 10 bad bitches and they after me. One bad bitch look like a masterpiece. Looking for a dunk like an athlete. Big drip, what you call it? Big drip. Ice chain, pure water. Ice. You got the cab, but can't afford them. Cash. You got the bad, but can't afford them. 2 step. Oh yeah. 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 Good night.
I got places to go. People to see, time is precious. I look at my Cartier out of control. Just like my mind where I'm going. The women, the shorties know nothing but clothes. No stopping at my Pirelli's on. Unlike my Jimmy, that's always on. I know the storm is coming. My pockets keep telling me it's gonna shower. Call up my homies, it's on and popping the night, cause it's meant to be ours. We keep a fadeaway shot, cause we ballin' this platinum Patron every hour. Look, mama, ow, you just like the flowers. Girl, you the truth with all that goody powers. My money lover like a #1 fan. Don't open my mouth, better talk to my fans. My Benjamin Franklin's. A couple of grands, I got rubber bands. My paper planes making a dance. Get dirty, I'm like that's part of. We building castles, that's my she's amazing, on fire blazing, hotter than Cajun. Girl, won't you move a little closer? Time to get paid, it's maximum wage. That body belong on a poster. I'm in the days, that bottom is waving at me like, damn it, I know you. You run the show like a gun on a holster. Tell me whatever and I'll be your gopher.
untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track hits your eardrum like a slug to your back a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state where the bomb ass him be. The state where you never find a dance floor empty and pimp speed. On a mission for them greens. Lean, mean, money making machines, serving fiends. I've been in the game for 10 years making rap tunes. Ever since Honeys was wearing Sassoon, now it's 95 and they clock me and watch me diamond shining, looking like a Rob Liberace. It's all good from Diego to the Bay. Your city is the bomb if your city making pain. Throw up a finger, feel the same way. Straight putting it down for California, yeah. West Coast.
So welcome back to the Beyond the Game podcast on Fishbowl Radio. My name is Jamie again. And so, welcome back. I watched the NFL draft. I watched the first round. I watched a little bit this weekend because I was just so hinged on the NBA playoffs. But I did look at some of the players that were drafted. So I decided to say, let me make a winner's take on this because there's some winners that won the draft today. That won the draft this past weekend. And actually, they may have won their future too. So this is coming from ESPN.com. Thanks to Mel Kiper for putting out the grades. And I just took a couple of teams. And I said, you know what? Let's give them one word for this minicamp and OTAs. Because I know a lot of players will be going to those camps and some won't due to contract stuff and drama with it. You know how every year there's always a lot of drama about whether it's legal or whether it's contract situations. There's always a lot of back into it. But sometimes I agree with it, sometimes I don't. So I'm starting with the positive today. I'm not talking about the Cowboys as of yet. I'm going to talk about that next week when I go to my drafts. Do not. So my losers of the draft will be next week, and then that's the close of our draft coverage. Because our next coverage will be, well, maybe we'll talk about minicamp and see who shined in minicamp. But then against minicamp and OTA, so everybody's trying to get their feet wet. But anyways, that's long far off. So number 1, the Eagles. The Eagles got their grade as the A. So they needed a cornerback, a wide receiver, and an offensive lineman. So they drafted Quinion Mitchell of Toledo. And let's play a clip from Quinion Mitchell, please.
With the 22nd pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Philadelphia Eagles select Quinion Mitchell, defensive back, Toledo.
The most decorated player in Toledo football history is the first ever to be named to all 5 All-American teams. He's the school's all-time leader in pass breakups. He had 6 career interceptions, and then Lewis, the Senior Bowl, running 4.33 at the combine. He's been terrific.
Yeah, I mean, he's over 6 foot, 195 pounds, 4.3, 38 vertical jump, and he can do it all. We'll just run through all the different things that this young man can do, starting with, lining up in man coverage. And look, even if it isn't right at the beginning, here, he loses leverage, he loses his inside leverage. I'm not going to panic. I'm just going to run to that upfield shoulder, ball's a little bit underthrown. I'm going to time it up and make the PBU. Off man coverage, you know what? I'm going to include the 3-step. I'm not even going to backpedal. So I'm looking at the quarterback. Quarterback's not dropping. I'm just going to drive hard on the slant. I got you. Awareness. Oh, there might be a little bit of a communication mishap here. Somebody's running free down the sideline. I'll take him. I'll make the play. Don't worry about it. I'll cover you up. If you want to blitz me off the boundary here like you do in college football, the short side of the field, I can come off here. I'm not just going to go for the sack either. I'm going to go for the strip sack and recover it, and then run support. I will come up and set the edge, and I will get ball carriers on the ground. There are numerous plays where he put big hits on people. They got a complete corner right here. I don't care if he came from a smaller school, not a traditional powerhouse school. He is a schooled player and a great person. I have to reemphasize that. Jason Candle, his head coach, said, you are getting an absolute stud of a person, which is one of the most important things that determines success.
Yeah, you're getting somebody that can set the tone for your defense, somebody that's going to show up and do things the right way. And we talk about at a small school. Has he gone against the big-time talent? Has he been across the line of scrimmage from a Marvin Harrison Jr., from some of the other players? He showed that against the game against Ohio State, and he showed that at the Senior Bowl when he went down there and went against every receiver from a Power 5 school. It didn't matter. One-on-one drills, he put on a show. I was watching it on the television, and you're like, man, this kid is jumping off the screen. It didn't matter. Winning every route, the ability to mirror, to play man, the man turn, the zone turn, he can do it all. And when you start the process, you got to finish it off. He went to the combine and finished it off running 4.33. So someone who did things the right way, and it just shows everybody out there, it doesn't matter what school you go to. If you perform and you do things the right way and you follow the process and you follow every step, you too can be a first-round pick. Good on Jason Campbell, the head coach at Toledo, and good on Quinion Mitchell.
So anyways, had to do it for Eagles fans because they got their man. This could be the end of their sleigh, as we say. I don't know. I hope it isn't, but sometimes it may be. I mean, and I'm not talking about the age. I'm talking about inconsistent play. So he was inconsistent in the regular season. It's time for somebody else to step in and say, you know what? I'm here to take the reins from you, and I want to work hard. Now, players are different. You can go in there and you can teach a young quarterback how to play the cornerback position, or y'all can battle for that number 1 spot. So we'll see what happens in minicamp. But I did target Anelia Smith and Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Now, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is the son of Jeremiah Trotter, the former Eagles player that played in the early 2000s. Those Eagles teams that couldn't get the job done, he played on one of those teams. I remember his father well because his father, just like his son, going downhill, get it every tackle. I think he honestly averaged 10 tackles a game. And I'm talking about his father. So he was that elite linebacker. All right, so could he be the next Fletcher Cox? You do need an edge player that can replace Fletcher Cox. So you traded Hassan White away. Not Hassan White. Hassan Reddick away. Hassan White's a basketball player. And then you go from Redick to now Jeremiah Trotter. I do think Jeremiah Trotter has a future in this league. If it was the Eagles, I'm not sure, but we'll see what happens. Now, their OTA starts on May 20th and May 22nd through the 23rd. Basically, May 20th through May 31st. So we're going to get a real taste of what these rookies are all about. Progression. Progression is my word because I feel like this Eagles team can progress when they put the pieces together. And honestly, I don't think they need anything else. I do think that I just think that it's hard to put into words of what they need because they already addressed it, and they're hard at work of addressing these things. Number 2, the Washington Commanders. I gotta talk about Angelo's team because that's his team, man. He had one hell of a draft. He was right. Jaden Daniels is your quarterback, Angelo. Like, treat him well. Don't make him be like an RG3 that was hurt all the time. You took care of Cousins, but you didn't take care of RG3. So, but then again, he doesn't get hurt a lot. So you should be happy with that. Two players I want to focus on, Mike Sandstrill and Luke McCaffrey, because I really watched those players closely on the college level. I didn't really think that Luke McCaffrey was going to be drafted, but he was drafted in the 3rd round. So if I have it right here, if I can pull it down, yeah, he was drafted in the 3rd round. I was right. Oh yeah, he was drafted in the 3rd round. I just didn't think that he'll be there. He's the brother of Christian McCaffrey, so I really didn't think he was going to be in that draft. But then again, I do see Luke making this team, being that wide receiver. Maybe he could be the backup wide receiver, but But with Jaden, you got to get the ball out. So let's say, for example. Let's say you get the ball out. Let's say that Terry McLaurin is there. Terry McLaurin doesn't have enough. Terry McLaurin doesn't have enough shine. You need to give him shine. He needs the ball in his hands to go out to shine, to get another 1,000-yard season again. You realize that y'all are in a better state than the Cowboys are. And again, we're not talking about the Cowboys today, because I'll load on them next week. I'll get more information on that. I'll load on them next week. But as far as Washington goes, I think honestly you didn't want to rebuild. You got your cornerback in Mike Sandstrill, which he's a cover corner, so I do think that his size will get to him. But then again, he can battle was all of them, was the tougher ones, the tougher receivers out there. I want to see the battle when he goes against CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown for that matter. I want to see if he can be that shutdown corner for the Commanders, because the Commanders haven't had one in years, and so I do want to see that. So the Commanders had a great draft. They had, it was A- on his board. It was quarterback, offensive lineman, and quarterback, offensive lineman, and cornerback. And they hit the nail on the money on that stages. So their OTAs could run from May 14th through the May 24th. And they'll have some in June 4th through June 7th. And minicamp in June 11th through 13th. So they need to change the scenery. Not a total full rebuild, but a change scenery. So they're transitioning from ownership to ownership to ownership. So I can't remember his last name. The GM for the Commanders and Josh Harris have done an excellent job addressing the needs on this team. And they're saying, you know what, we're not going back to our old ways. We're moving forward. So I think that's how every team should address their issues beyond the football field. Number 3, the Houston Texans. Now, this team got a B+, cornerback, defensive tackle, and offensive lineman they needed. They had no first-round pick. They gave that pick to Minnesota, which was smart because they had to make sure that they built that they already had the team. They already had the team in established. Just add a few more pieces here and there. They're there. The Texans were in the top 20 in defense. It's just that their youth got to them in the playoff game. So, what does C.J. Stroud have now? He has his best wide receiver in, if I'm pulling this down, in Case Stover. He's not a receiver. He's a tight end. Well, he could line up as a receiver at some point. And then on defense, you hit Kamar Lassiter, which he is the cornerback from Georgia, short corner. I watched him play a little bit, and I'm very impressed of the quality of play he has. Now, I want to address this before I move on to describing how I see this Houston team in minicamp and OTAs. So Tank Dell got shot in the leg on Sunday. Instead of blaming the person that had the gun, you're saying for Tank Dell, wrong place at the wrong time. Listen, Tank Dell was hurt. Tank Dell wanted to go out and have a little fun time. He was the innocent bystander. Apparently there was a fight, and then obviously the 16-year-old, only 16, got a gun and started shooting people. All in all, he shot 10 people. All 10 people are expected to live. He's in prison. Or for that matter. He's in prison. But he's going to prison. So, to me, there's two wrongs. Number one, the 16-year-old. Why does he have a gun? And it won't be the last one that his age will have a gun. And second of all, why is he there in the first place? When I watched the video, the video was like very vague. I didn't see much, but I saw that was more of an adult party. And I'm like, what is the 16-year-old doing? And what is the 16-year-old doing with a gun? For that matter. You're not using it for anything. You're not using it you're not supposed to use it anyways. When are we going to put our foot down and say these kids are not supposed to have guns, but yet we're doing stupid shit in the world? I know Tank Dell wasn't supposed to be there, but the man wanted to go out there to hang out. Now, he's going to make a full recovery, and thank God for that. But now it's going to be a little different for him, according to Chad Ochocinco. I just want him to have I don't care for the 16-year-old. I think he's going to rot in hell. I don't care for him. I care for Tank Dell. I want Tank Dell to live a beautiful life. Save for those other 10 victims as well. But anyways, I want to get back to the draft, and I want to say that this team, even though they're OTAs and minicamp, I love C.J. Stroud's energy this offseason. I'm gonna say they're ready for the big time. D'Amico Ryans has them ready. You know, they hit hard in the draft. They got the players they needed. You're telling me they got the best corner in the second round? This team is ready. C.J. Stroud's got to help now. A little older, a little wiser. They're ready. They're smelling Super Bowl in the next 5 years. I promise you that. They may win it. And they're a lot light years ahead than the Dallas Cowboys in this state. Might as well be a Texas fan, right? Might as well wear a CJ Stroud jersey. Because I got to find some happiness. I got to find some hope. Because right now we don't have any. So, number 4, Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs had a B+. You needed a receiver, defensive tackle, an offensive tackle, and a tight end. What a better way to hit all your draft pick and Xavier Worthy. They hit it. Xavier Worthy ran a 4.22 in the 40-yard dash at the combine. The fastest man since John Brown. Wow. They haven't had a speeder since Tyreek Hill. And so to me, they hit hard on this draft. They hit it. They hit every position that they needed. Now, I say that because opportunities are given to you every single day outside of sports. You know, you praise God that you're there in the league. When no one else couldn't get in, they chose you. And I'm talking about Rashid Rice. They chose you to be our wide receiver. Could have been anybody else. Could have been Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy's going to come in and make noise. It could have been one of the XFL players that playing the XFL. Could have been them. That's why they're there, because they can't get an NFL contract. Or they're trying to get an NFL contract. Or they're in retirement, not even worried about the game anymore. But they could have had a chance if not this happened or injury happened or something else. So to me, opportunities like this, Rashid, are given, but you got to take advantage of it. They went with Xavier Worthy because they're trying to move on from you. That's what it is. And honestly, I don't blame them. They're keeping him on the team just in case if he's found not guilty, that's would be a really surprise, then you're going to be on the field again while this person is getting life insurance to stay alive. You injured 4 people that day when you and another teammate, that former teammate, were racing on the Dallas freeway. You can't race with luxury cars, period. In a store, you can't do that. You lose your spot in the NFL or any other place in life when you do stupid things. That's why you keep it level-headed. That's why you got to change who you surround yourself with. If they're not growing, if they're not trying to be like you, not everyone's going to be in the NFL, but if they're not trying to grow like you, then you got to separate yourself, man. You got to separate. You got to move on. You got to move this way. You got to move that way. You got to build. But there's no way he gets on the football field with all those charges. 8. And you're telling me that all of them will settle at some point and then they all get dropped. There's no way. Injuries were changed. Lives were changed that night because of your stupid mistake. And then you have the audacity to walk away from the scene of the crash. Clear as day. Not even giving a free fine F about it. But yet the Chiefs have not done anything about it because they're trying to get more facts from it. Which okay, to each his own, right? But I do want to focus on the tight end, though. They just re-signed Travis Kelce. I think it was like another, I don't know the years. I know it was a bunch of money that last night came down. Now, Travis Kelce, even though he signed his contract, I do see him playing another 5 years, honestly. Keep in shape. The mind's got to be there. I do see him playing another 5 years in the NFL. But it comes with a price. Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is his girlfriend. Now, do they get married? No. But I said that. Everybody wants to get married, but I don't want this to be a distraction. I want every camera from Fox to CBS to be taken away. I want them to not focus on not Travis Kelce. I want them to not focus on Taylor Swift, even though she's accomplished a lot. I don't want that because it ruins the game. Do you know that the NBA set a record high in attendance this year? And I know when the NBA Finals ends, I know the viewership will go up as well. I know that because you got teams in OKC, you got teams in Minnesota. You don't have the Lakers and the Warriors anymore. You have teams that are watchable now. And so, if you want to improve your ratings in NFL, you got to make sure you take the one celebrity out of it. I'm sorry. The WNBA is hitting record numbers. They're no joke. The MLB is coming down. Y'all can be that third echelon of getting that ratings up. So you got to be accountable for your actions, according to Rashid Rice. And then you gotta cure the distractions. Taylor Swift is a distraction. Every time you pinpoint a camera on her, she is a distraction. And I hate to say that, but it's true. I want to watch my NFL football in peace. I want to watch the players. I want to hear the commentator talk about football instead of Taylor Swift's hit songs. So number 5 is the last one. The Los Angeles Rams. Okay? They got a B+. They need an edge. They need a cornerback in the offensive lineman. They drafted Jared Verse from Florida State in the first round. Blake Corum and Jordan Whittingham. I saw Jordan Whittingham. Jordan Whittingham needs to bulk up a little bit. I think he needs to gain at least 20 more pounds to be an effective tight end because he's too short to be a tight end. I think they're going to line him up as a slot wide receiver or even a wide receiver at best. Tell him to go deep. At 6'1", 205, I do think they're going to line him up as a wide receiver. Or better yet, can he return punts? Or can he be on special teams? We'll see. So, in this case, Blake Corum has to, in order to become a starting running back in the league, you have to bulk up a little bit. You're small in stature, but you got to bulk up a little bit. So, in this case, I have a lot of questions for the Rams. It starts with minicamp. It starts with OTAs. Who's going to be the replacement for Aaron Donald? What's the defense going to be like without the leadership? What's the offense going to be like? You got Blake Corum. Are they going to be run heavy? Remember, Matt Stafford is an injury away from calling it. You know, I didn't know he'll last this long, but I said, you know what? Not saying he needs to retire, but I'm telling you, I want him to come back stronger and not writhe in pain. Because again, this is not the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions do not care about their players. I could be wrong about that, but this is the Rams. So they care about their players, and we just got to, the Rams have to find that leadership. They got to find it. Who's going to step up and say, you know what? We need this, guys. You made the postseason barely. Now it's time to get back to where you're up. You were up here a couple of years ago, and now you're like right here trying to get up here. So I want to see what happens in minicamp and OTAs. I want to see when these rookies come in, I want to see what's them. I want them to make an impact. You can't take these mini camps and OTAs lightly. We're trying to see who's the best of the best. We're trying to see who stays on this team long term. That goes for the Cowboys as well. I challenge the coaches of the Cowboys to invest in these players. Period. I challenge the Rams, the Chiefs, what else did I say? The Rams, Chiefs, the Commanders, the Eagles, to challenge these young players to grow, to start growing up a little bit. Again, college is over. You're not in the life space where you're receiving NIL money, or in this case, you're allowing a person to break off from you. You're allowing that. We're not doing that anymore. You're in the NFL. Make the most of it. Stop getting into trouble, because that trouble turns to you losing your spots. Plus more. That goes for any young player in life. I'm tired of seeing our young ones get in trouble like this. The ones that I want to see, I can't see anymore, because they're no longer here. They're no longer in the NFL or in the NBA for that matter. And that's because of them. It's not because of the NBA. It's because or the NFL. It's because of them. And I'm going to end it there. Now, thank you for listening and watching my podcast. Now, next week, let's talk about the losers, man. The Cowboys have lost this draft completely. They have lost faith in the state of Texas. Yes, the whole state of Texas supports this team. And I'm going to tell you next week not only who we drafted, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling about this OTA and minicamp crap. I'm going to tell you that next week. And then also, we're going to recap Game 1 of the Minnesota and Denver series. And also, if any series that we need to preview, we're going to preview that. And also, speaking of Caitlin Clark, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about her Caitlin Clark's debut in the preseason. Why are we talking about that? I have no idea. But there's other WNBA teams that we're going to talk about as well. So let's see how they did. And then we got a whole new show next week, guys. It's going to be May. All right. Thank you for listening and watching this podcast. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts is at. And until then, I'll see y'all next week. It's Beyond the Game on Fishbowl Radio.